So we built that into our strategic plan. Our school board adopted our strategic plan saying that we would move forward intentionally and purposefully towards making personalized learning a part of the way that we do business in Henry County Schools. And so it's not about it being a pilot where we're like, oh, we think this is a good idea and it might work. It's really about us saying very intentionally, we believe personalized learning is the right way to make it work for every single child. We are going to move forward intentionally in how we roll that out into our schools, but we're going to roll it out in all of our schools in a very purposeful, measured, and thoughtful way that can provide appropriate supports so that schools can be successful as they look at how to provide for the needs of kids. This slide is what our vision of personalized learning is all about, and it's built on these 5 tenets, and you can see that we are taking advantage of school autonomy as a foundation to be able to build these 5 tenets that help meet the needs of all of our kids. And we think it starts with this idea of the learner profile where we know about kids, we know who they are, we know how they learn, we know when they learn things, we know when they don't learn things, and all of that data, as well as some social emotional background data, some attendance, some discipline, all of that is held in a common place that is available to all teachers who have impact on a child, all administrators, as well as to the children themselves and to the teachers of those kids. And that very transparent. Currently, schools have a lot of information about kids. Parents have a lot of information about kids, and that only ever gets shared if there's a crisis that happens that causes a parent conference. We think all of that needs to be tied together. We also believe that inside that learner profile, there needs to be a personalized learning plan for each student. That personalized learning plan is co-created between the school and the student, where they decide what they're going to do to graduate, what they're going to do when they leave school so that they're college and career ready, and what pathways they need to make to get there. Also embedded in that personalized learning plan is a connection to the competencies that we have defined in the second pillar, where kids demonstrate mastery of competencies, and they demonstrate that mastery regardless of pace, place, or time, and so that we are allowing kids to really look at a math requirement, a math standard that they might have for algebra, and we say if they can demonstrate mastery of that math standard in an algebra class with a test, great, let's give them credit. But if they can also do that same demonstration of mastery through a work-based learning experience that they have, let's give them credit for that as well, because we believe it's about what you learn and demonstrating consistent mastery of those skills and knowledge, and not necessarily about where they learn it or about seat time. And so removing seat time requirements, changing the definition of a Carnegie unit, and creating flexibility for kids to demonstrate mastery is a big part of what we see as this idea of personalized learning, and that kids also have to have the opportunity to be able to move slower if they need to and not be penalized because they're not moving at the arbitrary pace that we've created for them. So if they move quicker, let's move quicker. If they move slower, let them move slower. The other kind of part of that comes into play that you'll see at Impact and some of the other schools where we're doing this work is it also means that kids don't have to be doing the same work at the same time. We have some kids who are, 8th graders taking 9th grade coursework because they're ready for it. We have some kids who are taking 8th grade coursework and maybe going back to a little bit of 7th grade coursework because that's what they need help on in one content area. We also have it set up so that not all kids have to do all 6 courses all at the same time, so they can focus their energies in the places where they feel like they need to focus their energies and then demonstrate mastery. So that flexibility and competency is a really important piece in doing this work. And having that model of competency and flexibility has huge implications on staffing because it means that one teacher may not own the learning for one kid for a set period of time. Instead, the school community owns the learning for that kid. And that changes the way you look at what does it mean to be a teacher, how do you define what teacher is, and how do you move those pieces around to be able to maximize the professional expertise of our teachers, but do it in a way that doesn't fit into a traditional model.